If you dropped Mount Everest into the deepest hole ever dug by humans, the peak wouldn't even reach the surface. For over 2 decades, Soviet engineers drilled into the Earth's crust in the far north of Russia, near the Arctic Circle, until the rock beneath them stopped acting like rock. It's called the Kola Super Deep Borehole, and it's still the deepest hole humans have ever made. 12,262 meters deep, over 7.5 miles straight down. Drilling started in 1970, part of a Cold War race to see who could reach deeper into the Earth's crust first. The Americans had tried something similar a decade earlier, called Project Mohole, drilling into the ocean floor to reach the Earth's mantle. It collapsed under its own cost. The Soviets pressed on, right here on the Kola Peninsula, on some of the oldest exposed rock on the planet, over 2.5 billion years old. And here's the strange part. For a hole over 12 kilometers deep, it's remarkably narrow, only about 23 centimeters wide, roughly the size of a dinner plate, a steel pipe that long would have snapped under its own weight. So engineers built a drill where only the bit itself spins, powered by drilling mud pumped down from the surface. Before they even started, seismic data predicted they'd hit a clear boundary at a certain depth, where granite rock gives way to basalt. They drilled straight through that depth. The boundary simply wasn't there. Scientists also expected the temperature at that depth to be around 100 degrees Celsius. What they actually found was almost double that, close to 180 degrees. At that heat, under that much pressure, solid rock stopped acting solid. It behaved almost like thick dough, flowing back around the drill bit. That's the real reason they eventually had to stop. But on the way down, they found things nobody expected. Microscopic fossils of ancient plankton, in rock nearly 2 billion years old, and water. Not rainwater that had seeped down, but water formed by a chemical reaction, squeezed out of minerals under extreme pressure, trapped deep inside solid rock. This project also became the center of a famous hoax, a recording claiming to capture screams from hell coming up from the hole itself. It's fake, fabricated in the 1990s, completely unrelated to the real project. The true story never needed the exaggeration. Funding collapsed with the Soviet Union, and the heat made going deeper practically impossible with the technology they had. The project was abandoned for good in the early 2000s. Today, the borehole is sealed shut, capped with a welded metal cover, and the facility around it has been left to fall apart. We have sent people to space more easily than we have reached the bottom of our own planet. Earth's radius is over 6,000 kilometers. The deepest hole we've ever dug covers about 0.2% of that distance. Mount Everest couldn't even reach the surface of this hole, and we still didn't drill deep enough to escape surprises. This channel finds something just as deep and just as strange every single day. Subscribe so you don't miss the next one.